Yo, what's good? It's your boy Nam. We're back with another one. Let's get straight to it. So for my desk, I use a Uplift standing desk or sit stand desk. It's 60 inches by 30 inches, and I won't lie, it's well worth it. Whenever I was buying a desk, I wanted to make sure that I bought something that was going to be deep enough. 30 inches is kind of like that sweet spot for me where it's not too deep, but it's deep enough to where you can have the screen further back. And honestly, finding a cheap 30-inch desk was very hard. I couldn't find one at all, so I had to step up into the premium sit stand desk, and I won't lie to you, it's well worth it. Although I don't use it standing a lot, having that function is really nice whenever you want to get something done quick at the desk and you just don't want to like sit to do it, or if you just want to get some blood flowing, it's always nice to be able to just press a button and boom, you're standing. Although the price tag is pretty steep, just think about it like this: you're going to be using it every day, so it's well worth investing a little bit more money than you would think is necessary. As for my main computer, I'm using a 2020 iMac. It's a damn good computer. I maxed out just about everything in terms of specs, and I won't lie to you guys, it's honestly kind of too much for me right now. I probably could have saved a few bucks and just went with the 8-core, but you know, we live and we learn. So for my primary monitor, I am using an LG UL950. It's an excellent 4K Thunderbolt 3 display. I have no complaints about it. The only reason I really bought it though was because at the time I was so fixated on getting something that was very close to the Apple XDR display. I wanted something that was color accurate, was an IPS display, and also I wouldn't have any issues as far as connectivity. And I won't lie to you, this one checks all the boxes. It's still pretty pricey though, but I got lucky. Was scouring on B&H used section and I found it, and I think I got it for, I want to say either 700 or 900. So it was a steal, honestly. But if I had to buy it full price again, I probably still would. So I'd still recommend it for anyone who's looking for a nice 32-inch Thunderbolt 3 display. That's also 4K. I just remembered that. All right, holding both my primary monitor and my iMac up are two Amazon Basic monitor arms. Makes your desk so much bigger, because even at 32 inches, once you throw on a monitor or two on there, it's not as big as you would like it to be. So having the monitors up on arms, it really gives you a lot of space, and also under the monitors you can store things like speakers, put papers or whatever. So I'd recommend picking up a monitor arm. You don't have to go with the Amazon Basics one. I did because I paid a pretty penny for both the iMac and my monitor, so I wanted to make sure I had a very heavy duty stand to kind of hold them up. Next, we have the Shure MV7. This is the mic that I use for voiceovers and Zoom calls. It's a nice step up from like a Blue Yeti, and I also have it on a Blue Compass boom arm, and I think that's really nice that you can kind of keep it on your desk and get it out the way whenever you're not using it. As for my headphones, I use Sony noise canceling headphones. I believe it's the XM3s, so they're not the newest version, but they're still so nice. I don't feel like I need to upgrade them. Once I put them on, the world is shut out and I'm just ready to work. So I do think that they're a nice addition to have. So you don't necessarily need these, but noise canceling headphones when you're working, different game. At this point, I don't even think I have to give this keyboard any introductions, but I am still rocking with the MX keys. I've made 2 videos on it. It's damn near the perfect keyboard. I can't complain about it. It's low profile. It has a nice look to it. Bluetooth, and also it comes with a dongle. Honestly, if you want more information on it, please go watch my other video. I'm gonna go ahead and link it up here, but probably the best keyboard I've ever used. With the MX keys, I'm also using the MX Master 3 mouse, and that mouse it's damn near perfect. Honestly, I don't know how Logitech is gonna top this mouse. It has so many extra buttons and scroll wheels. It makes it so seamless to use. You don't really feel like you need to move your hands too much when you're using that mouse, especially when you're editing. Ergonomically, fits well in my hands. I don't ever get any hand cramps. I don't feel like I'm developing any carpal tunnel or anything. My only complaint about this Logitech combination that I do have is that with Mac, I don't know if it's just the 2020 iMac or just a Mac thing in general, there have been some very infrequent but Bluetooth issues that are very annoying when it does happen. So what I did was I switched from using them as a Bluetooth keyboard and mouse to using them as a wireless keyboard and mouse. So Logitech does give you some dongles with both the keyboard and the mouse, and luckily, since they're both Logitech, you can sync them up to one dongle, so you don't have to use 2 and take up 2 slots, you know? So after I did switch from using them as Bluetooth to wireless keyboards, Connectivity issues, 0. Brilliant setup. Please, if you're looking for the perfect keyboard and mouse combination, check these out. Now that we've touched on all of the main components of my desk setup, let's get into accessories. First, we have the ESR phone stand. I personally do not like keeping my phone at my desk just because I get too distracted too easily. I'm like a squirrel. But whenever I am taking FaceTimes or I'm watching a video on a break or something like that, it's really nice to have that phone stand. And it's also a wireless charger. My only complaint about it is that the base is very, very light. So it's adjustable. You can kind of configure it to how you need to configure it. And that's kind of what sold me on it. But I would recommend picking up this other version that I'm gonna link down in the description, just because it has a weighted base and it makes it so much better. It's still adjustable, but it just has a weighted base. Either way, I would recommend picking up some sort of phone stand, because it's nice to be able to kind of, you know what I'm saying, be hands-free whenever you're on a FaceTime call or something like that. Next, we have the Marshall Emberton Bluetooth speaker. I picked this one up for like $100 on Black Friday last year, and I have to say, I don't regret it. At $100, or that like 100 to maybe 150 price range, I saw that all the speakers kind of perform similarly. It'd be very, very, very minute differences in sound profiles and X, Y, and Z. So I didn't really care too much. I just went and picked this one up because it looked the best. But as you can see, the paint's starting to chip off a little bit, but it's still holding up pretty well. It's waterproof, perfect for someone who's looking for a shower speaker or something to use in like a smaller room. Next, we have the Google Nest Hub, first generation. I bought this because I thought it was gonna help in terms of productivity, to be able to have my schedule at my desk kind of on full display at all times, and also use it as a clock. But there's no frames that are customizable or that display both the time and your schedule, so I just use it as a clock. And also, it's nice to have to kind of be able to set alarms and timers, so I'd still recommend picking it up. But if you have the decision between picking up a first generation or a second, I wouldn't necessarily advise you against picking up the first generation, because I did a little bit of research. In the second generation, although it's only a $10 difference, it's not necessarily like the biggest jump in performance. So if you do find the first generation on a crazy sale, like let's say for $50 or something, I would say it's probably a good bet to pick that up instead of the second generation, because sleep tracking that's not wearable, at least to me, seems a little bit gimmicky, you know what I'm saying? Next, we have this Walmart wax warmer. It's just like, it's kind of a mood light for me. When I'm working, I like to turn it on, like it's like a sign that, hey, we're in work mode now, and also it smells good and stuff. But I don't know, it's just on my desk. It's a mood light. I'm probably gonna switch it out fairly soon because it's cool, but I feel like I can get a cooler mood light. And whenever I do, I'll let you guys know. But overall, I'd recommend picking up something. You know what I'm saying? It's nice to have a little bit of decorations here and there. Next thing that I want to speak about is my laptop stand, is the Nulaxy laptop stand. It's kind of been retired off of my desk setup, but I do eventually anticipate bringing it back whenever the new MacBook Pros come. It's a really good laptop stand. The space gray version looks really nice. It's built solidly, and I'd recommend picking it up if you do have a use for picking up a laptop stand. Because you know what, even though you may not necessarily have a whole desk setup that you want to plug in your laptop to, it is nice to kind of lift your laptop up and get it closer to eye level, and let's say use an external keyboard and mouse, just so you can kind of like fix your posture a little bit. Because whenever I was using my laptop, I felt like I was like this, and it wasn't that great for me. So yeah, I definitely recommend picking up some form of laptop stand if you are using a laptop primarily. So now that we've ran through my desk setup, let me go ahead and let you guys know a few things that I personally am looking to upgrade. And I kind of already touched on it earlier. I'm most likely going to be getting rid of this iMac just because I want to switch to a MacBook setup. I want to be able to take my work from place to place and also have a nice desk at home. But I'm looking at kind of switching from having this dual monitor setup to just having primarily a single monitor setup with maybe a MacBook on the side, just for like, let's say, transferring files. Because it is nice to have. Having two monitors is nice, but after a while you start to see that the use of having that second monitor kind of goes down, and it ends up becoming more of a distraction. So like, you have a monitor where you could have a YouTube video up and your work, because you know, we get bored sometimes while we work. But I'm not going to completely discount the use of having a monitor for maybe reference pieces or for whatever you need. But yeah, I'm thinking about going single monitor just for the cleaner aesthetic and also just to kind of like free up my desk, because my desk is pretty big, but it feels a lot smaller when I have two huge monitors on it. The next thing that I'm looking to upgrade on my desk is my cable management system. It doesn't look bad, but it's kind of just like tucked away and you can't really see it. Only whenever I raise up my desk, you kind of see that it don't look that great down there. So I do want to find a neater way to kind of tuck these cables away. I think that there are a few things that I have in mind, but I just been too lazy. Ever since I glued up everything, it's like, why fix it if it's not broken? All right, so the last thing that I want to upgrade in my setup is my office chair. I completely blew my budget on everything else and did not pick up a good chair. I planned on it, but I just forgot about it. It's one of those things where like, once you have the fancy new desk, it's like, I'll be all right with this chair. But now it's starting to break on me and it's hurting my back. So I'm thinking about picking up a chair fairly soon. When I looked into it though, office chairs are far more expensive than you think they would be. Please guys, if you have any recommendations, let me know. I'm looking for something sub $500, but if it is very high quality, I may be willing to push it a little bit. Not Herman Miller push it, but like just like maybe $750, maybe, if it's good enough. But yeah, if you do have any suggestions, please let me know. But guys, that is the video. Thank you so much for watching, and please hit me with a like if you found any value from this. Also comment down below with any suggestions that you have. Anyways guys, peace. I will see you later. Oh. Chair got stuck.